Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed, exhausted, so stressed out to the point that you just want to quit? Even if the thing that's stressing you out is something that you used to enjoy. Well, in a lot of creative fields, particularly game development, these feelings can be very common. You, a highly distinguished game dev, might even have these feelings right now. And it could be that you're burned out. So why does burnout happen? And what can you do about it? And what does it have to do with this little guy? You're gonna have to wait a little bit, Master Yoda. And first off, yes, this channel is largely focused on the development of games and all that entails, but I'm also a music therapist, and mental health and how it affects us is very important to me. And game development is no different. There is plenty of stress potential when either working as a game dev, professionally or personally, and that stress can build up and make you question yourself, leave you feeling exhausted, or like you're drowning, gasping for air. And quick sidebar, if you found this video and you have absolutely no interest in game dev, one, welcome, and two, that's okay because the tips and tools I'm going to talk about can still be helpful to you. So let's jump in. Burnout. What does it look like? Think about when you felt this sense of being completely and utterly overwhelmed. You go through the week feeling like you can barely catch your breath, and even the things that you may have used to help cope in the past are frankly no longer working. So you feel like you don't have time for other things, but dread going back to the thing that is giving you that stress. It can also present with other comorbidities like depression or insomnia. Basically, your body is telling you that something is not right, and these things are out of balance. Now, we naturally deal with stress through our autonomic nervous system, which is divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. Long ago, this helped our ancestors run from big giant animals trying to kill them, and now it freaks out when the line at Starbucks is too slow. When that stress hits, the sympathetic nervous system jumps into action, causing a bunch of physiological responses. When the stress goes away, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in to return everything back to normal. And that's by design. You need both to function, but both need to be in balance. So let's apply this to game development. Let's say you're working as a game dev for some big AAA studio and you're in what they call the crunch period, working 100-hour weeks. You're overworked and it's all leading to a deadline to complete tasks and complete them as quickly and effectively as possible. Your body may be able to handle it at first, but that stress builds and builds and builds, and because you're working impossible hours and the giant stress demon that is the deadline looms constantly, that stress never stops. Your body can't go into a resting state to let that parasympathetic system kick in, so you're in a constant state of fight or flight all the time. This can happen for such an extended period of time that your nervous system cannot function properly. You can't sleep, you're on edge, you get sick more often, you're burnt out. And this has happened at major studios like EA, Bethesda, and Rockstar Games for even very recent releases where these crunch cultures have created what they call stress casualties, developers that could no longer continue working due to stress. And this isn't just for AAA employees. Solo dev work has its own sources of stress. Issues with finances, division of labor, bug tracking. In a lot of ways, those who are game deving personally or in a small team are more susceptible to burnout. The stakes may actually be higher with less support around you, and there is story after story after story of indie devs with big dreams having to unceremoniously take it all down because they were burned out, effectively destroying a part of their identity and source of creative passion. The pressure to succeed at all costs can feel like drowning, and a loss of balance in your life can misinterpret the roles of failure and acceptance have in that balance. Which brings me to this guy. How do you feel about burnout and maintaining a balance of stress?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Okay, well, first off,
only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yes, I know that saying a Sith only deals in absolutes is an absolute in itself. No one asked you. So is Yoda trying to send us into a constant state of stress-fueled burnout? No, but he also completely missed the giant Sith conspiracy happening right in front of his face, so who knows? My point is that if you are left with this black and white reality of I have to complete this needs to be perfect, you're going to burn yourself out. Approaching a problem with a finish this at all costs attitude puts unnecessary stress on your goals, making you overwork or constantly question the validity of what you've already completed, and you're more likely to burn out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with trying. Trying involves risk assessment and honest evaluation of the results. It doesn't mean you didn't make a good attempt. Is it bad that your first 3D model in Blender looks like a hungover Picasso painting? No, because you tried and can try again and again and again, and it gets a little bit better each time. So you don't need to push yourself off the edge to get there. But let's say you're there anyway, and you're already feeling burned out. Here are a few tools to help you bring everything back into balance. 1, take a break. Rest and relax. It's okay to step away. If you're burnt out with game development, you probably don't want to give it all up. You want it to be more balanced. So take a break, go outside, listen to music, take a nap, do something that will give your mind a break. Number 2, reevaluate your goals. Once you feel everything slowed down a little bit, take some time to ask yourself, what are my goals? Are my goals the source of the stress that I'm feeling? Or is it the way I'm measuring these goals? Maybe you're working on an indie game and trying to promote it on Steam. Get some wish lists. Let people know about it. Your goal of 10,000 wish lists while you're only getting 1 or 2 a week might be a source of extra pressure. Maybe 10,000 is unrealistic and it needs to be adjusted. Or maybe your promotion tactics need to be adjusted. Now, is changing that goal to 100 wish lists going to erase all of your stress? No, but it can make it feel much more achievable rather than having this giant mountain of expectations staring at you. Number 3, look for balance. So you've sat at the computer trying to design this new game prototype for the last 10 hours. When was the last time you got up and stretched, exercised, took a walk? Game development is work, and work takes energy. In this case, you're using your mental energy while your body is basically in one of the worst positions it can be for a really long time. So balance that prototype work with some physical activity or socialization. Number 4, ask for help. Mental health is a serious thing, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with talking with someone or asking for help. Activities where you're working alone, like game development, can become very lonely, and negative thoughts can become amplified in that vacuum. If you're feeling overwhelmed or burned out, talk to someone you trust about it, or seek help from a service provider or local organization, or message me. For real, just message me and I'll talk with you. You may feel alone, but you're not alone. You aren't wrong for feeling the way you feel, and you are worthy of feeling more in control. And finally, number 5, put yourself first. If you're still burned out and other things have not helped, it's okay to not only step away, but to walk away. I love games and game development, and you probably love it too, but it's not more important than your mental health. We live in a society where all of these expectations are thrust upon us, and even the simple act of taking a sick day can leave you feeling guilty that you're not operating like you should. Well, that's a load of crap. You should never feel guilty about putting your mental health first. So if you need to walk away from game dev, that's absolutely okay. It doesn't mean you can never try again.
There is no try.
Can it, Yoda?